So on the in-store strategies, like what does that look like? One, to kind of, obviously you want to drive sales, but you don't want to be too salesy. And then you also want to provide good recommendations, but not, encroach on any of the compliance things, saying that you need, like, there's a fine balance, I think, for all of these different aspects. So how do you kind of tackle that?
You're right. There is a fine balance there. I would say, our team of bud tenders, they are our business. And I would say that a lot of that comes down to, our process of selecting them. We prefer experienced bud tenders, people that have been in the industry. We prefer users because then they can really click with the patient because they've actually consumed it themselves. They get an idea of how that makes them feel. Beyond that, I would say our bud tenders being warm, friendly, recommending things, but not pushing them.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So typically, like, let's say someone is coming in for a certain flower and, they like these terpenes. What typically our bud tenders will do is actually see what they purchased last time, and give them recommendations based on what they purchased last time, if they liked it or if they didn't like it. And so they really make them feel like we know you and you're supporting us and we're supporting you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest things in the dispensary is really developing that relationship with the patient. And to do that, number one, you can't have high turnover of bud tenders. You have to treat your bud tenders good, actually great enough to stay on board with you, but you also still have to stay within your budget of being open in this market. And so I would say, a lot of it is, of course, the quality and everything, but the in-store, that comes down to having team meetings with the bud tenders, talking about our patients, talking about what they're wanting, what they're liking, what they've requested, as well as just kind of intermingling the bud tenders with each other, because the patients come in at different times. And when the bud tenders get together in meetings, they can kind of relay that information to the other bud tenders about the patients. And I would really say most of that has to do with just communication between bud tenders, communication between the bud tender and the patient, and making sure that they're happy. I mean, customer satisfaction is key, absolutely. And so whatever we have to do to make that happen, we try our best to do. And we do really try to give back to the patients. And we, there's one thing in our store, and I've never really talked about this in public, but the products that we bring on, I won't accept a product if it's remediated. So that's the level of interest that we have in our patients themselves, is that we're not even willing to take in a product that has failed testing for microbials, mildews, molds, heavy metals, whatever it was, and then it's been remediated through extraction purposes, which, don't get me wrong, I'm experienced in extracting, and you can clean that stuff up, but I want a quality source. And whatever I have to do to get that is what I'll do. And I've had to explain that to patients, and had our bud tenders explain it to patients. Why don't you guys carry this cart, or why don't you guys carry this? Well, the fact of the matter is that product has actually been remediated and it's failed testing before, and we're not really willing to risk your health on that. So that's kind of one of the things that I try to push.
Running a dispensary is harder than ever. There are competitors popping up all over the place. So to help you with this, I've talked to 100 dispensary owners from coast to coast, and I developed this 6-stage marketing plan to help you increase your online orders, increase revenue, and also help you have a lineup of people outside your door. So if this is something you want, please check out the links now. So how has your marketing strategy evolved over time?
That's a good question. In the beginning, you're right. It was easy. We had free marketing. We were on all the local news stations in the state of Colorado, so it wasn't just Boulder. We were on the Today Show. We were on the New York Times. We were in Germany, Italy, Russia even covered us. We've been all over the world with this coverage, and so that's some of the best marketing we ever got, and we were really able to thrive with that. And we started counting the number of countries people would seek us out specifically for, and it was over 100. And so we got lucky in a lot of ways, but, being first really paid off for that. And then in other ways, it really set our standards maybe a little unrealistically high, which have, been reevaluated the last few years. But, marketing in the beginning was, more normal, like local newspaper. At the time, social media wasn't really, restricting stuff. And so it was a little easier to kind of get away with that. That changed, obviously. But there were just things in the beginning where we could kind of take advantage of more normal marketing aspects. And then the MED came in and changed rules. And this is how you market. And this is where you can and can't. And the ratios of the audience have to be certain ages and stuff like that. But really just in the beginning, it was we just showed up and we were first and that was it. And we got lucky and we evolved along the way. Beyond that, we knew we only had one chance to keep these customers coming back. And so it was just our goal every time we see a new customer and a repeating customer, both treat them the same, but, we knew we had one opportunity to get these people to want to come back. And so we just did the best we could to give them a good experience. As the industry evolved, more and more products came out and vendors came to us first. So we still get vendors who want to be on our shelves. I mean, we've got a great reputation in Boulder.
Right.
And, so that makes it a little tough. Some vendors we have to tell no and stuff like that. But we just strive to have the best products and provide the best service in the beginning. And as things change, social media stuff had to come into play. And, many marijuana-based newspapers and magazines have come and gone that we've kind of tried to deal with here and there. And now we've really just seen that it's really just about word of mouth and customer loyalty. And so we strive really hard to continue to maintain that customer service, the product variety, the affordable prices, at least competitive prices.
Yeah.
We do have a very unique destination space. We're outside of the city of Boulder, so we save people 8% in taxes right off the top.
Oh, wow.
We have a lower tax rate, which is nice. But beyond that, we've been around for so long that we have such good relationships with not only small growers, but medium-sized growers and of course, all the edible and concentrate vendors. So we've been around for so long that people seek us out, and every time new products come out, we're one of the first that gets them and give them feedback and stuff. And so I'd say we're still at the leading edge of the industry in Colorado specifically, especially in a market that you're surrounded and getting drowned out by, more and more corporate stores who everything's the same. Every store you go to, it's the same product, it's the same everything, it's the same prices. And, the person behind the counter is always changing, the service is changing. And so there's a lot of inconsistencies, but those guys with a lot of money, a lot of investment, hundreds of millions of dollars coming in the industry, and we're still competing with them just by providing a good experience to the customer. We make the customer number one, and that's our goal. And that's how we've survived. And, I think moving forward, that's really how any good business is going to survive in this marketing world of over-regulated industry. So.
Yeah. Does your strategy change to get repeat customers who are more so tourists who may come in once a year versus locals coming in multiple times a month? Does that strategy change at all?
I wouldn't say the strategy changes. We treat everybody as good as we possibly can, whether they're in from overseas, literally, which happens quite a bit. Like the Grand Canyon brings in people from all over the world, so we definitely have a lot of adults that come in and don't have legal marijuana in their country. It's a pretty cool experience for them to check out what we have. But we we rely on our locals, right? Like our local population and the people that are coming in, once or twice a week. Like those are the people that are truly paying your bills, and we do everything we can to take great care of them. We have a lot of loyalty reward points, and so we have a really good rewards program, so you can build up rewards and get discounts off of anything. So it's your choice. It's not like limited, but basically it's just you spend money, you end up getting reward points and discounts off your stuff. We do a ton of specials. We have something on special every single day, and work with our vendor partners to really try to create great discounts and buy one get one frees and 40-50% off deals. So those for the people that are routinely shopping with us, they're able to take advantage of really good pricing, really good deals on a daily basis.
Yeah. I have two possible ninja hacks for you on the marketing side, because you were talking about the issues of social media, and how difficult it is to post online. So I don't know if you've ever heard of these two things, but when you were talking about it before, I figured I'd let you know. So, and I guess anyone else is listening, but so I was doing some research a little while ago, and there's this company, you probably might have heard from them. They're called Santa Cruz Medicinals, but they focus like on CBD, and there's a whole other issue kind of shipping cannabis related products, right? Because it's CBD, sure, like you can skirt around some. Anyways, so what he does, he goes to like local grocery stores, and he goes and he looks at the ingredients. Like he looks at cereal boxes and is like, well, this cereal box has palm oil, 500 grams of sugar, whatever it is, right? And a lot of people resonate with this nutrition analysis, right? And on the banner of the website, it just says visit Santa Cruz Medicinals, and he has hundreds of thousands of followers. And this was a little while ago, so I don't know if he's changed up his marketing, but his page is nothing to do with CBD, like nothing even remotely close to CBD. It's all about like nutrition and like analyzing different food products and stuff like that, and people go and comment, and then that goes ahead and drives kind of the top of funnel content to the website itself. So that was a very interesting one, to kind of like have a page that has nothing to do with your business, but maybe everything to do with like local Flagstaff tourism things to do. So when Facebook groups were more popular, in the business Facebook groups, you would have like local business owners of Toronto, local business owners of Flagstaff, for example, right? But the person that is the moderator of that group is like an accountant, or they own a local business themselves, but the group has like 13,000 people because it's just a networking thing. So it was this hyper ninja way, because then they had control over like pinning posts and stuff like that. So that was the ninja hack number one, that you might be able to explore. That might be super interesting if you want to do the social media. Because realistically, if you go and you grow your social media the regular way, you're spending all this time, all this effort, all this money, and then the account gets shut down. You got to do it again, right? Might as well grow slow and do that sort of thing. And then the second ninja hack was that there was a dispensary out here in Toronto, and they ran ads for the business beside them. So it was a nail salon shop, and actually it was multiple. It was a nail salon shop, and I think it was a bookstore, because they had a few stores around here in Toronto. And what they did is they ran ads to the nail salon, and then the nail salon was like, if you're looking to get any green, and then they had like green nails and stuff like that, please come on by. You'll have a high that you'll never regret, right? And it was only the nail salon. And then at the end of the video, they said, come visit us right next to, and the business was Stoked Cannabis or whatever, right? So clearly, the people listening and seeing obviously knew what the ad was about, right? Yeah. But they kind of skirted around those things. Now, I don't know if our regulating body is going to do anything about it, because this kind of went semi-viral locally, right? So, it's one of those like, is it in the spirit of the law versus in the written law? And then you can kind of go around doing that stuff. So I don't know if you want to ruffle any feathers and you kind of want to have any of those ninja hacks, but I figured I would share those because those seemed, really interesting if you'd really want to test those out.
I love it. I appreciate the creativity. Well done.
Yeah, no worries.